Good morning and welcome everyone. Thank you for coming today and sorry for the short notice. Mr. Daniel won't be able to join us today as he has another meeting to attend. Let's start with our last meeting's minutes. Does everyone have a copy?
Yes.
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 Good. Are there any amendment to be made?
No.
No.
Then I will approve and sign it as an accurate record. Before we discuss the main agenda, are there any matters arising?
Community service campaign has just been approved by the CEO. If there are no issue, it will be held next Sunday.
Wow, that's a great news. Thank you to all for your hard work preparing the paperwork. So let's move on to the main agenda today. Today, we are all here to discuss the most beneficial thing to do to support our staff with serious illness. As you all know, one of the staff in our department is a bedridden patient suffering from a chronic disease, and we are here today to discuss the most beneficial thing to give him to lighten his burden.
I think give the cash will be more beneficial to give him. This can help cover his medical expenses by giving him cash. As is well known, medical costs are now very expensive. Even more, he is suffering from a chronic disease that needs the help of all of us. By providing financial support like this, he will be free from the burden of worrying about medical expenses. So, I am confident that we can lighten his burden with the aid of this money.
Would he actually use the cash for medical treatments, Mr. Rizwan? I mean, he could use the money for other purposes too, other than medical treatment, right? Therefore, I have a better suggestion. Rather than giving him cash, we don't know whether he will use it for medical treatment or not. Why not give him an alternative treatment? I am confident that this will be the most beneficial thing we can give him to lighten his burden.
I want to ask Mr. Adam, what kind of treatment we want to give him if we come up with an alternative treatment?
That's a good question. Since he had chronic disease, which is cancer, the treatment we will provide is surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation therapy. This is not just lightening his burden, but this will continue to keep him healthy as usual. In fact, these alternative treatments are the only way to slowly recover from his cancer and live as a normal person.
Mr. Rizwan, what do you think?
I think making an alternative treatment requires a high cost, and this will burden the company to bear all those costs.
Personally, Mr. Rizwan, I don't mind spending some money on him since he has contributed so much to the success of our company.
Can I suggest something? Instead of giving him the alternative treatment, why don't we give him a hospital bed? As we all know, all bedridden patients need a bed as a place for them to rest and lie down to reduce their pain and be able to cure their illness. So it is better to give our staff a hospital bed because a hospital bed is suitable for everyone who is sick. Furthermore, our staff do not have to spend a lot of money to buy this bed because the price of this bed is quite expensive. So it can lighten his burden as well as provide comfort to him throughout the period he is sick.
But Mr. Shabil, not everyone is comfortable with a hospital bed. There may be some who are uncomfortable with this hospital bed. Whereas we want to give the best thing for him comfort. So I think it will be better if we gave him another type of bed that is more comfortable for him based on his preference. This is easier for him and is also comfortable and happy with the result of our giving.
And Mr. Shabil, wouldn't a comfortable bed cost more? Hospital bed, as you all know, is quite expensive. Instead of giving him a bed to lie on all the time, as I previously stated, we should give him an alternative treatment.
I agree with Mr. Adham. Besides, the hospital bed cannot cure his illness at all. It just makes him comfortable lying down all day. I have a great idea. What if we give him some motivational books? As far as I know, those who have been affected by illness usually tend to give up easily with their life and have a low mental state. It can further cause stress or even anxiety, which is really harmful. By giving him some motivational books, he will realize how important it is to be strong and keep living their life happily even if they are in any difficulties. I can suggest that the book Stop Worrying and Start Living by Abdullah bin Said Safar Al Husni is one of the best books for those who are struggling with their life.
Yes, that is what I have in mind.
Sorry for interrupting. May I ask, is it when he reads a book that he can recover from his illness? Plus, not everyone likes to read books. Maybe when we give him motivational books, he won't read them and will just keep them. So I think that's not the best idea.
I agree with Mr. Shabil. By giving motivation book is not the best idea. For a patient, especially a cancer patient, the best motivation is from the love of the people around, not through the provision of motivation books like this. He prefer the presence of his beloved family and friends who are always present to visit and talk with him. Reading motivation book does not help him recover. In fact, he will feel lonely. So, this will waste the company's money to buy motivation books while the book is not read and only kept.
Okay, thank you for all the suggestions given. Shall we call for a vote for the most beneficial thing to give to him to lighten his burden?
Yes.
Those who agree with Rizwan's idea, which is about the cash, please raise your hands. Thank you. Next, those who agree with Adham's idea, which is about the alternative treatment, please raise your hands. Thank you. It looks like the most of you agrees that the most beneficial thing to lighten our staff burden is by giving the alternative treatment. Am I right?
Yes.
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 Alright. I think we can bring this discussion to a close. Before we end this meeting, do you have any other business? Let's go around the table. Rizwan,
No.
Naim,
No.
Adham.
Yes, Mr. Shabil. I've just received information that there is a new investor who will be visiting us early next month. Therefore, we can discuss it in more detail with him about that.
Great. Let's make sure that he invests in our company since we need the money for our next big project. Anything else?
No.
No, Mr.
No.
Shabil.
Good. Shall we meet in 2 weeks' time? I suggest on 5th July on Tuesday, which is at 10 a.m. in the meeting room. Do you agree?
Yes.
Yes, Mr.
Yes,
Shabil.
I agree.
Alright. I'm afraid that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for coming. See you in the next meeting and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
Waalaikumsalam.
warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam
wabarakatuh.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.